Heresy to the max. Quorico. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Gopher knows about hiding the helmets. I have a feeling Quorico may have noticed a bit of a theme for the last video. Reyes is pronounced Reyes or Reyes, somewhere between the two. Yeah, thanks, and I will probably promptly forget and keep getting it wrong. Damn, it's frustrating how he shot down Max and just keeps ignoring Parvati whenever she tries to initiate a conversation. I didn't deliberately ignore her. Was I talking when she said something? I may have missed, she may have said, hey, but whenever I heard one of the companions say, can we talk? I did try and talk to them. It's frustrating how I shot down Max, though. Well, Max needs shooting down. I really don't understand people who play these types of games and don't go through all the dialogue option. You miss so much good lore and sometimes missions and yes, companions by not doing so. Yeah, me neither, actually. I generally go through all of the dialogue options, at least the ones that are reasonable for my character. Is skipping and leaving conversations with NPCs unfinished normal for players of these Western RPGs? What are we talking about? Leaving conversations with NPCs unfinished? Did I miss something? Did I miss an option everyone wanted me to take? Haven't you found out how to make helmets invisible in settings yet? Yes, I have. Okay, yes, he knows. He knew before the game came out. Why are we shouting? That's a really good question. Because that's the only way to be heard. Good to know. Is it? Okay. Disable the companion helmet in settings, Gopher. Wait. He obviously used it when he said he bought a stealth field for Parvati's helmet. Yeah, I'd already hidden it. Hadn't I? In this video. In this very video. Anyone knows why in hell Gopher skipping quest and companions? He's not. At least not deliberately. A hazard of doing an RP for your first playthrough is that you miss a bunch of things your character wouldn't do. The hazard of doing an RP for your first playthrough. Out of curiosity, what else would you do on your first playthrough of a role-playing game? Especially when you're as strict about it as Gopher. Am I strict? Am I strict about the RP? I didn't feel I was. It's maybe not the best way to start a game, but it's how he rolls and... Whoa. Doing a role play of a role-playing game is not the best way to start a role-playing game. 4220 facepalm, just facepalm. Okay. Oh, this is what everyone is saying I skipped. This is what people are talking about when they're talking about skipped. I didn't select one of these options. I just... Right, okay, none of these options were particularly appropriate, though. Number one, a vicar searching for a banned book sets a bad example, doesn't it? Yeah, way too judgmental. Monty doesn't really care what Vicar Max does or what sort of example he sets. At least you still have your mission work here to give your life a meaningful purpose. Yeah, look, that... First of all, we know that isn't going to make Max feel better, and honestly, Monty has no interest, especially at this point, in making Max feel better. He wasn't exactly the most sympathetic character, so again, not a reasonable option. This has to be some kind of cosmic retribution, and again, just not something Monty would say. None of these options are reasonable options for the character I'm playing at all. I'm going to assume that had I picked one of these, he would have said something extremely cool that everyone wanted me to see, or he would have offered to join me as a crew member a lot earlier than he did. But, you know, without that knowledge, I had no reason to pursue any of these conversation options whatsoever. Fun with fertilizer. Nothing wrong with staying sober. In another time, in another universe, a certain cowboy felt disgusted by himself for a moment. Watching it a month out, I wonder if he realises that the secret ingredient of the fertiliser is poop. It's rather obvious watching. Okay. It may be rather obvious, but it was rather wrong. I love how much time you take to investigate the corners of this game. You're my favourite Let's Player by a long way for this. Well, thank you very much. Now I need to go and find the comment that tells me I don't investigate enough and I'm rushing. Gopher has redeemed himself. He has caught up with Parvati and chatting with her. The universe is stable again. Does it bother you guys if I don't have every single solitary conversation the instant I can have that conversation and exhaust every single solitary possible line of conversation the instant I can have that conversation? I've noticed that Gopher can sometimes have problems with names. That is very true. To the extent of making me wonder how he would do if he ever came across a character named Siobhan. My curiosity must be satiated. Well, consider your curiosity satiated. I once knew a Siobhan, actually. Has Gopher never heard a Zoe or Zoe before? It's pronounced like Joey, but with a Z. Yeah, well, I've heard both Zoe and Zoe in my life, and I assumed this was the spelling of Zoe and with a Y was with, was Zoe. Kind of like Joe and Joey. Most frustrating thing is how bad most Gopher's characters couldn't pick up a context clue if it was in a bucket with an automated hoist. It might help if you actually gave me a clue and some context for that comment. 85% of this video is conversation, no action, and just boring ASF. Yes, the real problem with RPGs today is too much dialogue.